Welcome to Raptors Today. I'm Savanna Hamilton alongside Paul Jones, and Sherman Hamilton will be joining us a little bit later, but look at where we are at. Take it all in.
Home again,
back to the bank, Scotiabank Arena. And Paul, you were there at the game, the first preseason game of the season. What was it like?
It was nice. It was great to be back, kind of, sitting in your regular seat. I always say it's like going away to university and then coming back home and reacclimating yourself with your room and the house and all of that. And I think the Raptors did that. For some of the guys who had never been here for a year, I mean, you think about a guy like, a Malachi Flynn, who was their first-round draft pick a couple seasons ago, and played the entire year away from Toronto. So it's got to be great for him. I thought it was interesting, though, when somebody asked Fred what he thought, the juice in the building, and Fred kind of said, nah, because he's been here when it's been really rocking. But for those of us that didn't see the team for the year and were away from this building for a year, it was great to be back in there. And you got a sense of energy, a little bit of juice from even a minimal capacity crowd.
Well, you talk about the word energy, and that has been thrown around when you talk about the player, Scottie Barnes.
Yeah.
Tell me what you saw from him live, in person, on that game.
Well, he was a little bit more gassed up than he was in Summer League, only because there were people in the building. I mean, we saw the same sort of energy at the Vegas Summer League. We see him doing it again, and that's just going to be his calling card. And that's a great thing to have, because on nights when your offense isn't going, a lot of energy can help make up for other things. So, you see that with Scottie. And look, Savannah, he's not the only one. The young rookies played really well. I'm really impressed with Delano Banton and the fact that he can rebound the ball, handle it. He's got to tune up and I always say tighten up his decision making, but he is going to be a real keeper, particularly if he keeps developing the way he is. And I know you commented on it on Twitter as well.
Absolutely. Nick Nurse actually made some comments himself talking about how much progression he's seen from his summer league, performance to what he saw in preseason as well. So, it's great to see that the hometown kid is thriving right here at home. So without further ado, I actually do want to throw to Delano and Scottie Barnes to hear from him.
I would just say, it was great to just play at home, trying to interact with the fans, get their energy. I felt like they got us going a little bit today. So we had a great interaction today. I like it. It was fun. I just try to bring it every single day. Of course, energy is contagious, where it just all travels across the room. So I just try to bring it every single day. Just be happy, motivate, inspire. That's what I really just try to do. The energy was there. He was just saying, I got the long legs, I got to dunk that. I'm just trying to secure the basket, I missed one before that, so I just wanted to secure that one.
Very mature.
It's a vet move. Really, I just play my game. I'm a very versatile player where I can do so many different things. I just come in, try to play defense, do my job, and play through the offense. So I would just say it's going to be good, just being with the system, learning the system, being able to just come in here and play every single day and just get better. We had a lot of good moments today. The fans showed me a lot of love after the game. I would say that's probably one thing that'll probably stick with me. Fans showing me a lot of love after the game. We had a lot of fun today, so it's a lot of moments that I could describe, but I'll say I'll go with that one. I usually just do that all the time. Just trying to talk about the game plan, just keep putting ball pressure, defending, showing out length on defense. I would just say that's just who I am. That's what I always do. I'm a very talkative person.
Man, it's a dream come true for me, being in the stands watching the Raptors my whole life, and then, kind of being on the floor and, being at the games with people that I used to watch it with. And then now they're fans watching me, my friends and family. So, it's kind of just a big scenery change for me. And, it's kind of just, when I first got out there and people were showing me love, it kind of, all kind of settled in for the first time for real that it's actually true. So, I love it all here, man. I'm grateful to put on for my city and I'm grateful to be here. And I love how they're all, taking me in and, loving me. So it's great. I feel like just everything you do, just giving it your all, giving it 100, whether that's just any type of drill. I feel like just Coach Nick Nurse preaching to us, just, 100% of what you put in is what you're going to get out. So kind of just, playing with pace and, kind of just doing the things that I expect to do for myself in the games in practice. And, when it's time to put that work in. So kind of just, working on everything all around and, taking the knowledge where I can and, soaking up advice from all these guys, the vets, the other guys on the team who are there for me and there for each other. We're all there for each other. So I just feel like, just being in the gym and putting in work day by day, to see a better day and continuing to grind is not surprised by it. Just this whole organization, they want to see whoever they have in here, whether if you're a part of the organization, they want you to be successful. So, wherever they see I can improve, that's where they're going to tell me. So if that's, looking for myself more, just, being able to make myself my first option and then look to pass, I feel like will open a lot of things up for me and, for others. So, kind of just looking to expand my game in all ways I can. So if that's, trying to be a little bit more selfish here and there and, not looking to pass, before I have a layup or something like that, that stuff they tell me and, kind of just being aggressive and, not looking to just make passes, but looking to make plays. Not surprised by it. Just this whole organization, they want to see whoever they have in here, whether if you're a part of the organization, they want you to be successful. So, wherever they see I can improve, that's where they're going to tell me. So if that's, looking for myself more, just, being able to make myself my first option and then look to pass, I feel like will open a lot of things up for me and, for others. So, kind of just looking to expand my game in all ways I can. So if that's, trying to be a little bit more selfish here and there and, not looking to pass, before I have a layup or something like that, that stuff they tell me and, kind of just being aggressive and, not looking to just make passes, but looking to make plays. I feel like just, when you're on a part of a team or a part of an organization, I feel like just coming in every day, grinding with guys every day and just putting in that work, your connection builds, whether that's with Yuda or Scotty or, all the other guys on the team. You come in, you put in work, through the trenches with each other, you put in hard work and you guys grind together. So, it's easy to kind of build chemistry with guys that you put in work and see every day. But, guys, Yuda and Scotty are guys who love to move without the ball. Yuda's very active on offense. He finds ways to get open. So kind of just those are guys that if you get them the ball in the right position, then they'll make things happen as well. So kind of just being able to look for guys and trying to know where they are, where they want the ball.
We just heard from the rookies, but we got to talk about this lineup in terms of offense. They bring a lot of length. That's been like the key word that I've been hearing all the time on Twitter, on social, and from Coach Nick Nurse himself. But what's your take?
Well, Savanna, they always say, basketball in a traditional sense, a good big always beats a good little. They always say at the end of the game, the little guy who's quick gets tired. The big guy doesn't shrink. And when Nick Nurse has a lineup, and we saw it, we talked about it in that second quarter, when the shortest guy was Justin Champagnie, who is, by the way, a tenacious and ferocious rebounder, when he's the shortest guy you have on the floor. And then on the offensive end, when you get turnovers, I know you want to talk about the defensive end, but when you're able to turn people over and get out and run, it's really hard to make good decisions at high speeds. But this is something the Raptors have been cultivating and have been working on. We talked about it with Banton. You see it with Scotty Barnes. A guy like Champagnie. We see Precious Achiuwa. All of these guys can handle the ball at high speed. Now, it's about making sure you look after the ball and not turn it over. But it makes transition defense for the other teams just a nightmare. You've got guys that can handle the ball. They can get out and run. You're going to get easy shots, be they with layups or with, as Nick Nurse talked about, pitchbacks for easy three.
Absolutely. You're not just passing. If you're the opposing team, you're not just passing through a 6'9" guy. You're passing through his wingspan, too, which could easily be 7'2", 7'3", that these guys are all length. But, you mentioned Champagnie, and that's somebody who really stood out to me on the defensive end because he had great hands, great physicality. I think he's a player that was under a lot of people's radar, but I think he put himself a little bit on the map with this team in terms of establishing who he is. We're going to throw it to Sherman Hamilton for his insights on the team.
Thanks, Sav. There were a lot of great performances in that last game against the 76ers, and one of the guys that really stands out to me is Zvi Mykhailiuk. I thought he did a great job in terms of showing his all-round skill set. Again, this is a guy who's been in the league for a few years, so he understands more of what he is at this juncture of his career. But more importantly, when you talk about the way the Raptors play, they play off of ball movement. They play off of guys cutting to the basket. They play off of moving the basketball. But they also play off of shooting that ball and getting after it offensively. And then the defensive end is involved. And I thought Zvi did a great job in terms of showing his range in shooting the basketball, his ability to put the ball on the floor and attack the hoop and get to the rim. And also I thought he did a good job in terms of being able to move the basketball, being a facilitator. And again, you're talking about a fairly young team, and this guy has the ability to fit in with the youth, but has that sprinkling of experience. And I thought we saw that against the 76ers. And I just like his overall demeanor. His pacing was good. I thought he didn't try to do too much when he had the basketball, but I really liked his approach and his balance in his game. And when a guy's been around a bit and bounced around and find somewhere where he can find some comfort and people that believe in him in a different way than he's experienced before, maybe that's the opportunity for him to blossom. And I think Zvi has found a great spot right now with the Raptors. He fits their style. He has that length, that 6'7", 6'8" length, and he can play on both sides of the basketball. So I really like what he did against the 76ers, and I look forward to see what he can do moving forward to show us more of his game.
Precious Achiuwa spent a season playing. The three-pointer is good. Achiuwa spent a season playing at the University of Memphis for.
Another guy that I really liked for the Raptors in that game against the 76ers and overall is Precious Achiuwa. I think that his skill set in his young career really fits what the Raptors are looking for. Again, we know the dimensions physically that work, but I think his energy and a guy who doesn't need the basketball all the time to be productive. And I thought against the 76ers, we saw that. He could get the ball off the glass. He can push the ball in transition, take it all the way to the rim. We saw him knock down shots. We also saw him get after it from an energy and effort perspective. And when you have talented players around you, sometimes you need that guy who can just muck it up at times, but has enough skill that he's not going to hurt you on the offensive end. And defensively, he's going to bring it. I like his versatility. I like his mobility. And I've said this before. There was a guy in the league in yesteryear that kind of reminds me of Precious, not to the level that this guy did in Kenneth Faried, but I think Precious has that ability to impact the game with energy, with intensity, with rebounding, with defensive ability, and offense is just going to continue to grow. I really like what he brings to the Raptors. I think when you talk about their front court, one of the issues they had last season is finding consistency. Throw him in the mix. I think he's going to be a guy who's going to provide some balance. He's going to be a guy who provides something a little bit different than what they already have, and also someone who provides that defensive interchangeable ability to switch out to guards, to get back to the rim, to protect the basket, to rebound the basketball, to push it in transition. I like his fluidity of movement, and I really think Precious is going to have a chance to really shine in his second year in the NBA.
And we know the uncertainties over the past months. Having a deep roster is something that's very beneficial.
Drummond with the steal. Achiuwa, the two-handed monster slam on the feed from Barnes.
It's just extra hustle, another save by Barnes.
All right, I touched on a few new players for the Raptors, but we're going to talk about a mainstay, a vet for this team, and OG Anunoby. And I thought OG really showed in that game against the 76ers his rounded skill set. And again, the efficiency was off the charts, but OG's maturity, you feel it in his game. You see it in his movement. You see it in his understanding of how to attack. And we saw this development start last year. But I just liked OG's pacing in the game against the 76ers. You know, he had that feel like he knew what he wanted to do, and he knew how to go about it. And that's the maturity that you're going to need from OG as a leader now on this team. And I think OG's ready to take that step. And as long as he's healthy, OG is going to be a very important focal point of the offense. And defensively, we know what he can bring with his ability to defend multiple levels on that end of the floor. And when you talk about scoring, you know Fred's going to score. You know Pascal's going to score. You have OG out there as another potential lethal scorer to help that offense flow, another ball handler who can make decisions and find teammates. OG becomes that much more important. And I like his development. His body looks a bit more thin in terms of being lean and more mobile. OG looked good against the 76ers. I like what he's going to bring this year. And I expect a big season from OG because the expectation level is higher now. And he's moved up the pecking order in terms of importance on the offensive and defensive end. So there you have it. Those are a few guys that I thought showed well against the 76ers.
Hey, listen, that's what we want it to look like right there. So I don't know if we can duplicate that 100 more times, but that's the goal. So, you know, again, a credit to those guys that came and played with incredible spirit and energy. And that's all you can ask for new guys especially. And, you know, some of those guys have played in the NBA before, but they're trying to find themselves again. So I just think that that energy and that passion will carry you a long way in this league. And they're doing everything the right way. So it's hard to be mad at anything that they're doing. Now, will it always work? Probably not, but it's a good start. I just want to see all the energy and the young legs everybody keep talking about, man. They keep telling me how much energy. I was on them in practice pretty much in training camp too, you know, that that wall comes really fast in training camp after that first day. So I just been on him, man. They drafted him for his energy and his athleticism. So I thought he was gonna jump up there and dunk it and scream like he always does. I was a little disappointed, so I just let him know about that. But I think he was getting a little tired there. But we're just trying to find a way to take what he has and bottle it up and, you know, try to make the most out of it and be more efficient with the way he plays the game. But he's got a bright future. Yeah, I mean, it's a thing we'll have to figure out, right? I mean, I think he looks a lot more comfortable with other bench guys out there, you know, with him. That second run he had was a lot better than the one he had with the starters, and that's always a fine balance of trying to play with, you know, other top players. So I think that part will take some time, but you see it. It's there. They're bringing the ball up the floor. He can pass. He'll add some stuff off the bounce. He's strong enough. And again, you know, just if you go out there with that energy and that passion for the game and you have any type of ability at all, you'll tend to figure it out. So as long as he keeps, you know, staying attentive and paying attention to the details, listening. Pascal's talking to him, OG's talking to him, I'm talking to him, coach is talking to him. You know, he'll figure it out. I mean, he's a kid. He's a young man. And again, all that energy and enthusiasm, it comes out in many different ways. But he's not yelling anything that is wrong. He knows what he's talking about, and you need voices like that. So, you know, we love that. Like I said, there's not just one leader of a team. There's a bunch of leaders on the team, and everybody has different roles. And if he's going to step up and be that guy who's keeping the bench together and communicating while he's on the bench, that's a big part of the game. We all got to communicate with each other on the floor and off. So I definitely heard him out there a lot. And again, even better than that, when you do a lot of talking, you got to hold your own. So he's got to, that's great that he's speaking up, because now the spotlight's going to be on him even more with his teammates. So I think that was great for him, and he's been vocal since he's got here. It was great to see, you know, our fans make eye contact with people that, you know, have missed it just as much as we've missed it. A lot of familiar faces, you know, the season ticket holders and people like that. So it was just great to be back all around the board. But just not enough people for me. So we got to continue to fill it up. I think, you know, that is a part of what makes this place what it is not only the individual fan, but the collective of bringing everybody together, and, you know, just so much energy and enthusiasm that's in the air that comes from piling up on top of each other. Now, I don't know if we can do that, you know, given the rules and all that, but hopefully we continue to grow that crowd and get back to what we're used to around here. Well,
I think we've had a really good stretch of skill development and work since Summer League. We've had a few weeks kind of out and about, and then 1 week back here in Toronto. But most notably, I think that we're learning these guys. I think Delano's a big, you probably see a big change in the way he's playing now versus Summer League. Precious, we're getting to know him, and I think he's being, again, a little bit more, he's getting a few more chances to show some things he's really talented, and kind of cutting him loose a little bit. You know, I don't know who else. You know, I really like Svi. I've always liked Svi Mikhailiuk in his game. I thought he was really aggressive and turned the corner a lot tonight and made some good decisions. I don't know, just general overall, I think that we've gotten some good work done since Summer League, and I think there's some guys who've made some really big steps in a short amount of time. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't a lot of great half-court execution out there tonight, but I think, again, I've said we haven't really done much. You know, we're really trying to focus in on the defense and converting off the defense. And I mean, most of that pace came off of defense, and that's what we want to do. You know, I always say, if we're going to play all that darn defense, we better get something out of it at the other end in a hurry and put some pressure on them. And that's kind of what we're trying to do there. We're going to have to shore up that half-court execution, that's for sure. But we'll keep trying to build our foundational principles of stopping them and finishing quick. You know, it sure feels good to be back. There's a buzz. There's a level of comfort. There's an energy, I think, that translates from the crowd and to the players. So yeah, no, it does feel good, and it's not. I mean, and I keep saying the same thing, but it feels a lot better than I thought because of, again, like we didn't think it was that bad down there, but but it feels a heck of a lot better to be back. Let's put it that way. So I think it adds a little extra to the juice that's in the building and helps us all. Yeah, it felt good. Felt good. I know that much. I think all the familiarity even seems more familiar, I think, from being away for so long. It really does. I think, like I said before, we tried to make the best of it down there in Tampa and thought we were okay. But now that we're looking back, it sure seems like it was maybe a little harder than we thought down there, and it feels good to be back. Even I think our guys were excited to play. We were certainly excited to get out there. I think the crowd and the buzz in the place was probably a little bit more than you're expecting in the preseason. Right? There's sometimes in the preseason you're not moving at that pace. All of us, includes the coaches too. But no, I think there was a good buzz, and that helped us with a little pep in our step tonight.
You just heard from Coach Nick Nurse and Fred VanVleet, and now Nurse has a good maybe problem or some Play-Doh to play around with right now.
Yes.
You know, he has a lot of length and he has a lot of options when it comes to the second team as well. So what have you seen out there that you think that, you know, Nurse will have some, trouble on his hands or opportunities?
Good trouble, Savannah, as you might say, a positive problem as a coach. Look, Nick has always done this. He has always juggled lineups, changed starting lineups for matchup purposes. He knows what he's going to get pretty much from Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, some of his more veteran players. They have things that they've improved on and they will work on in preseason, but he knows what he's getting from them. It's about combinations now, and we saw that in the first preseason game, and I think we're going to see it continually over the course of the rest of the preseason, where he's going to try different lineups. He's going to look for matchups, and Nick is the kind of guy that he'll find something, and when he knows it works, he puts it in his back pocket and he pulls it out at the opportune time. So he's got, as you said, Savannah, a lot of Play-Doh, a lot of malleable parts, a lot of guys that he can work with, a lot of combinations to work with. So I expect to see that continue for the entire preseason. And Nick will be noting all the combinations that work.
Well, we're going to be seeing that again this Thursday, October 7th. You can catch the game on TSN2. Thank you once again to all of our crew behind the scenes, Jake LaRue, Ellie, Sherman Hamilton, who just did our hip of prior before, and of course, Paul Jones. I'm Savanna Hamilton. Thank you for watching Raptors Today.